I've got some mailbag questions. The first one, I'm curious about the indicators used in trend following. If many people learn and follow trend following, do the indicators used in trend following change? Do they lose their effectiveness? Question mark. I replied, people are irrational, markets are inefficient, trends never stop. Trend following is timeless. There is zero evidence it stopped working because people drive markets and trend following captures that. What's amazing is this desire to find a hole in the entry part of a trend following system is timeless in of itself. I've seen it for a very long time where people focus on how do we enter a market? And then, as this person writes me, it must be so top secret, it must be so fragile that if anyone knows about it, it will stop working. Ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not picking on this person, but the turtle experiment, the Bill Dunns of the world, the David Hardings of the world, the Larry Heights of the world, the Paul Mulvaney's of the world. Show me where trend following is stopped. I mean, yes, every 5 years there's a trend following is dead article, trend following no longer works article, and every damn time those are proven wrong. Every damn time it's proven that it's just some reporter who does not know their ass from a hole in the ground, who's just pontificating. You might be thinking, hey, this guy Mike, it sounds like he's pontificating too. Except I do the research, I do the work, and everyone, I mean everyone across my books and podcast can see that. So there is some expertise in my words and it's backed by the work. But to take another angle at this, the idea that an indicator would stop working, an entry mechanism would stop working. I mean, sure, if your time frame is some very short time frame, you're going to get more people that are playing in that territory. But when you look at the evidence of trend following traders, trading, as the term used to be, long-term trend following, there's zero evidence of anything degrading. In fact, it's the opposite. Markets are more efficient today than they've ever been. Have you seen any shortage of trends? I don't even care the name of the market. Have you seen a period, anytime recent, for example, where markets just go flat, don't go up, don't go down, and they just go flat? If you have, please show me this evidence. I'd love to see it. People aren't changing. They're going to be batshit crazy forever. If there's any change, again, they're becoming more batshit crazy. Think about the assortment of social issues that you see in the public today. Now imagine what happens when these social issues that are essentially just feelings, opinions. Imagine when these things for a significant part of the population become science in their mind, become facts in their mind, become objective in their mind. People are nuts. And if people are nuts, guess what they're going to do with their money? Trend following is beautiful. Trend following is literally like a beautiful woman. All of the traits that you might see in a beautiful woman that makes you just go, ah, damn, she looks great. They're embedded in the concept of trend following. Now, I did Around the World the other day. And by round the world, I mean, I checked out a bunch of the biggest trend following firms from around the world. Let's say 10 names that you all know and love, or maybe you don't. But I just want to see the messaging. And some of them definitely use the phrase trend following, but a lot are using science and quant and this and that, managed futures, CTA. Trend following systems That's what it's all about. It's been that way forever. So I guess I get it on some level that if a new person has skepticism and they've been reading magazines and web pages about secret algorithms and thinking to themselves, oh my gosh, if the secret gets out, I won't be able to do it. It'll all fall apart. That's not the way it works. Trend following is hiding in plain sight. It's always going to be hiding in plain sight. And it's always going to make money while it hides in plain sight. Because, I know you can hear it. You can hear it coming from the corner of the room, because people are batshit crazy. And of course, for those of you out there that are thinking batshit crazy doesn't sound technically correct or doesn't sound academic, batshit crazy or inefficient markets, whatever you want to call it, I don't care. I like batshit crazy better than inefficient markets. Got another email. Gentleman said he was in a trade, and without delving into details, a gap at the market open brought the price below my break-even level, leading me to sell immediately. This was the thrust of the email, this one trade. One trade? One trade? Why are we focused on one trade? I mean, you already know when somebody writes and they say they're focused on one trade, some one stop that hit them, they've already got a messed up view on how the markets and how their trading system should work. Clearly, this person is thinking about a higher winning percentage. Why else would you focus on one market? Why else would you focus on one trade? That makes no sense. Again, I'm not trying to be a mean person here, but I've seen so many thoughts, often very thoughtful. This was a thoughtful comment, a thoughtful email. It was longer. I think he's a very bright person. But people get mixed up. They focus on the wrong things. If you're a trend following trader and you got a 35 to 40% winning percentage, which means your winners are going to be a lot bigger than your small losers, you're never focused on one trade. Unless you happen to be Paul Mulvaney and you're trading cocoa in 2024, and you just make the mother lode of all profit you could possibly make. But even then, look, you can listen to Paul Mulvaney on this podcast. Even then, I'm being facetious in the sense that he's just following his system. And that trend just happened to happen, and he just happened to take the signal and follow his system. That's it. But the person that was just talking about a gap at the market open, brought the price down, had to sell. At the end of his email, he says, look, there's a lot I don't understand. I'm working on it. Thanks for your constant participation. Hey, I salute that too. But part of my job, part of my fun is with a laser-like focus to see where people are stuck, to see where people are lost in a way. Now, of course, there's plenty of you out there that understand trend following trading, and you're just agreeing with me. You're not bowled over because you're hearing me say something that you don't already know. So I appreciate that you're out there, and I appreciate you have that perspective. It's all about learning. Learning and teaching, actually, right? We learn and we teach. We teach and we learn. I give credit to the physicist Richard Feynman for that. If you want to learn something, teach it. That sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? Well, you can go check out Richard Feynman and his perspective about why that is true. Another piece of feedback that comes in, Michael, my biggest challenge I've faced in trading are trust and skepticism. Seems like whenever I come upon a new investment system, I'm the last one to the party before the lights go out. I figure if trend following advice is making it to a cubicle jockey at my level, then it must be too late. Very similar email to the first one that I read. That somehow or another, it's going to end. Somehow or another, the behavioral work, the behavioral observations that Daniel Kahneman made that got him a Nobel Prize, that somehow or another, everyone is going to get on the same page and be, quote, smart. And we will have efficient markets. Not happening. Not happening. So the issue is not with this particular person being late to the party. The issue is this particular person has been gullible to bullshit approaches. Look, nobody can do the work for you. You've got to sit down and make honest comparisons. Here's trend following. Here's XYZ other stuff over here. And you've got to compare. You've got to contrast. Now, in my mind, it's not a comparison. It's not a contrast. Because you can find the evidence for the trend following philosophy, the trend following technique, and the prior performance that came before all of us as the evidence for trend following. For so many other strategies, it's blind faith. It's trust the guru. Trust the talking head. They will walk you through and save you. They will walk you through to make you money. You can trust them. Trust, but verify. Famously said by one Ronald Reagan about Mikhail Gorbachev, trust, but verify. Trust me. Trust Michael Covel. But if you don't verify me, what's wrong with you? Be a skeptic all you want. But why don't you do the work to find out that I've done the verification already? You can benefit from my work. But now, if you're always just going to be skeptical about whatever, because you're never going to have confidence in yourself, I can't solve that problem. I mean, if you don't have confidence in yourself, perhaps the first bit of advice that I would give you, get off the couch, stop drinking, stop smoking, and go to the gym. Oh, wow, Mike, that's a big assumption. You think that people that are skeptical in themselves could be out of shape, could be on drugs, could be drunks? You think that's how it works, Mike? Yeah, I do actually. Because people that keep themselves fit have an inner confidence. And they understand the system to get themselves to fitness. And if you have an understanding of one type of system, you can have an understanding of another type of system, like trading, like trend following trading. Got another email that came in, said, "Hi, Michael." And he referred to an article in a magazine. And he said to me, which futures work well with using price channels to identify entries and exit? Here's a test to find out using an example trend following strategy. I don't know. Have you bothered to take a look at any of the evidence from the last 50 years? I mean, I'm happy that you write me an email. I'm happy that you think I might be able to answer your question in a way that teaches you a lesson that makes you feel comfortable. But I got to ask, have you been paying attention? Have you been paying attention to the trend following traders over the last 5, 6, 7 decades and looking at the types of markets they trade, looking at their performance attribution, and knowing deep in your gut that you track a diverse portfolio, a widely diverse portfolio, because you don't know which damn market is going to take off and work at any given point. It just strikes me as odd that one would fixate on some article in some magazine about some finite strategy and think there's going to be some finite group of markets that it works on. That's not how trend following works. So I don't really know exactly what was in this magazine. I really don't care what was in this magazine. But I do care that people properly think about how the trend following philosophy works first. And it works by knowing you don't know what's going to happen. And if you don't know what's going to happen, you need a diverse tracking portfolio to keep you ready for when the unexpected happens. It's actually kind of simple in a way. It's not dissimilar to venture capital. I had a venture capital guest on my podcast recently. We talked about this very issue, the comparison between trend following and venture capital. I don't want to restate his name in the incorrect way off the top of my head, but you will quickly find him. His episode has been in the last handful of episodes. Russian guy teaching at Stanford. Had another guy write me. He could only think of trend following, or as he was calling it, momentum, with volume. And that if you don't have momentum and volume, it's not going to work. Now, of course, if you're trading some ultra thin market, you've got some meme coin, and you're 99% of the market, you're kind of fucked. Okay? Not a good position to be in. But if you're trading the big liquid markets like trend following traders do, the idea that you're fixated on volume as an intricate part of the trend following process, I just don't see the evidence for that. Trend following is about price movement, capturing that price movement. I'm sure there's some books out there that have been written about volume, and that somehow or another, if you understand volume, you're going to do fantastically well. Where in the hell are all the volume track records? Please tell me. I don't know where they are. If you know where a bunch of trading volume track records are, please send them to me. I'll read them on air. I'll share them. I'll eat crow. But it's all a bunch of bullshit. You already know that. Really do appreciate when you send me emails. And I post many of them on my blog. I usually give links to places where people can go and a quick, not really yes or no, but a quick resolution of the email. Because when people are on the wrong path, look, I'm not Oprah. I'm not Dr. Phil. I'm not here to listen to your bullshit about how you went down the wrong path. The only reason you pay attention to me is because I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to sit around and play patty cake, hold hands, sing kumbaya. That ain't my cup of tea. If you want that cup of tea, that's great. But you're not going to learn shit from that. The world is the world. Truth is truth. Objective is objective. Facts are facts. If you want to play in a sandbox of social insanity, please don't let me stop you. But as you play in your sandbox of social insanity, just remember, your insanity, my profits. Their insanity, my profits. Their insanity over there, trend following profits. I mean, that's really what trend following is. Trend following is capturing insanity, which is my euphemism for fear of missing out, greed and fear, the more academic ways to describe it. Like I said earlier, trend following is quite beautiful. There's this method that doesn't require you to understand what a balance sheet is, doesn't require you to understand where cocoa is harvested, doesn't require you to understand shit about the gold market. All it requires you to do is to believe that people are crazy, their craziness is manifested in price movements, and these price movements are never stopping, because we've never seen any evidence of price movements stopping. So if you're going to get random price movements, or as you may call trends, pushed along by who knows exactly, all kinds of different market players, if your plan is simply to capture their desires, then you're just following the damn price. You're not questioning it. You don't care. You just go with the flow, man. That is beautiful. It's always going to be beautiful. And when you compare that trend-following beauty to the assorted gurus that you can find on X, pontificating about the daily open or some analysis of the Fed. Look, I don't like what the Fed has done. The Fed has created inflation. That sucks for so many people. But what the hell am I supposed to do? Talk about it all day long? Give my prediction on when the Fed's going to do a rate cut? Is that really what you're interested in? I mean, some of you, yes, some people really love this shit. I serve one purpose. I serve the purpose of helping people to make money with trend-following methods. That's it. Now, of course, on my podcast, you can find all kinds of other topics, but my core service, my core silo, where I exist, is to share this trend-following beauty with everyone. Now, that doesn't mean everyone's going to take the advice. Clearly not. You know, one way to think about the human condition are the ages of people at any given point in time on this planet. People are always dying and people are always being born. There's fresh meat, so to speak, coming along, and then there's old meat dying. And this trend-following understanding, even though it's deep in me and it might be deep in you, for new people that are stuck in the educational system, being taught typical shit, they may have never heard of it. They might get to 30, 40, 50 years old before they've ever heard of it. And they just go through life trusting the system, trusting the Wall Street system. Generational demographics is a big reason why trend following will always be successful. The vast majority of people don't have enough time to learn about something as beautiful as trend following when they're being inundated with a cacophony of bullshit. When they're having nonstop information flow thrown 24/7 via their phones, their laptops, their iPads, the TV, the YouTube, the desktop. What the hell are you supposed to do with this information flow? You can't do anything with it except go crazy. But with trend following, with that trend following beauty, you reduce it all to price. No fundamentals. If the price is moving, you're on board. If it's not, you're flat, you're out, whatever. But it's about the price movement. And what is that price movement? The price movement is people. All of a sudden, I just had a thought to the movie Soylent Green. Soylent Green is people. Trend following is people. And that's beautiful. I know I'm being redundant with the beautiful, but it really is if you think about it. Because you can't find the other strategies that have that beauty. They don't exist. I salute somebody like Warren Buffett. But where are all the Warren Buffetts? They don't exist. He's Big Daddy Omaha. I wish you all the best for your week of trading, your week of investing. And if you want this motivational message, if you want to be kept grounded, I will do my level-headed best every damn time to do that.
I see a time when those awake will understand how to make money in up, down, and surprise markets. Whether new trader or experienced, college student or financial advisor, protecting against a crash or just trying to make a lot of money, trend following offers everyone an answer in uncertain times. To get started immediately, send me an email, michael@covel.com. I will send you the right trend following steps to take along with my free video. But if you want to buy and hold, trust the government and trust Wall Street, this is absolutely not for you.